It went missing a few times, but my Galactic Star Cruiser Padme cape is finally here. And here it is. So yeah, sometime after Dragon Con, I'm going to start looking at making the costume and shooters with this. I haven't been able to film any new videos in my sewing room because it has been a total mess the last couple of weeks. I've been working on figuring out patterns for my newest Padme costume I'm currently working on, which is her Tatooine arrival outfit. Last summer I did buy the Disney version of her cape, so I wanted to make the rest of the outfit to go with it. A few weeks ago I started on some really rough mock-ups using some scrap fabric, and for this cape piece I ended up getting out my Brayhawk costume and copying the shape of the cape from that. Then I moved all these pieces over to a really cheap stretch fabric, and so far I've got the cape piece patterned, I've got the crossover hood section patterned, and the lining for the top. I've still got to figure out the skirt, which I started messing with here, but nothing final on that yet. The rest of the top pieces and the sleeves. I'm really praying that the 10 yards of fabric that I got for this will be enough, but I do want to do one more mock-up before I move on to this real fabric, so stay tuned for that. I'm currently working on Padme's Tatooine arrival gown for Dragon Con this year, and I feel like I have been working on this costume for months at this point. And that's because I did 4 rounds of mock-ups because I knew I only had 10 yards of this fabric I wanted to use, so I wanted to make sure I had everything right before I cut into my real fabric. I've got this cape piece mostly finished, and the last few nights I've been working on the hood and the crossover section in the front. And I've basically put the skirt together. I still need to install the lining so it's not see-through. I have nothing but scraps left of this fabric, and I still need to get a facing for the hood out of it. I think I can do it. The whole reason I wanted to do this costume is because I did buy the Disney Store version of her cape last year. It's really nice, and I was so glad to be able to get this. I will probably need to hem it a little bit shorter, but I'm going to wait until I figure out what shoes I'm wearing with this before I do that. But I'm really hoping to be done with this project in the next month or so, because I have other Dragon Con projects I need to move on to. It's been a week, so here's an update on my Padme Tatooine homestead costume. The top is almost finished. I've just got a few more little places to sew down, and then of course I need to stamp the design on the back of the cape. I have not given that much thought yet. The whole costume also needs a really good steaming. This fabric wrinkles very easily, but I'm going to wait and do that closer to the end. This weekend I'll be mostly working on the skirt. I've got the lining basted in here, so I need to get that permanently sewn in and start working on this little gathered piece of the front. But the top is actually wearable now. Here it is on me. That's very exciting. Once I get the skirt a little more finished, I'll be moving on to working on the cape. This is the cape from the Disney Store, and I do need to hem it a little shorter. I think I may just wear my ceremonial layer shoes with this costume, and that'll give me a starting place to figure out how much I need to hem on this cape. Here's a few pictures of progress from the week. I've ordered some beads for the front of the skirt. Hopefully they are the right size, and hopefully I can finish this in the next couple of weeks. I just got the little gathered front piece to finish, and I've also still got to do the stamps on the cape. I printed out a bunch of different sizes of the shape for the stamp on the cape to figure out the size I needed to make it, and I did get beads in for the front gathered panel, but they were too small, so I've ordered more. I just want to have them here in-house before I finish that to make sure I've got everything sized right. And I started taking the hem out of the Disney cape so I can shorten it, but while I was doing that I did notice that one of the seams of the lining was sewn incorrectly. I'm glad I noticed this, so now I can take this out and fix it before I put everything back together. And I have decided I am wearing my ceremonial layer shoes with this because they are comfortable. Here's an update on my Dragon Con projects so far. For Tatooine Padme, I finally got this gathered front piece made, sewn on, and beaded. And I also finally turned off the excess from my Disney cape and got it hemmed a little bit shorter. I printed off a whole bunch of the little symbols for the interior cape piece and got them pinned on to check the sizing. So now all that's left is to do the stamping on that cape piece. I did finally order a stamp to do the design on the Padme cape. It should be in the next couple of days, and I can finally finish this part. And my husband has 3D printed my tiara and will be painting it soon.